will cut you down! There's a fight in you yet! I will cut you down! Time for regret.
What? The ego. I'm sure it's not. Over there. It was nothing.
Teppo from Koriyama. The merchant is an old man. Even after buying them, he said that if we scratch this Teppo, we pay with more than one.
Army's training does not matter as much as what you feed soldiers. So, basically, we are doomed. Whatever you say.
What was that? Huh? They are dead. What was that sound?
What is...
I should look around for useful information.
Huh? Hi, Harry!
A monk. Some kind of messenger. This looks valuable. Best if I remain unseen.
I will end you!
One less obstacle in my path.
Let's see what useful things we can find here.
Another mention of an unnamed superior. They made the outlaws steal shrine relics.
They are a magpie? With an eye for shiny things?
Not all relics shine.
You possess a very literal mind. I can tell.
You a very devilish mind, I can tell. Also, a helpful one. Time to go.
Welcome, my child. My invitation was intended for Yasuke, but you honor us by accepting. Tea will be served shortly. But first, allow me to show you Todaiji Temple in all its glory.
Glory tarnished by war. Still, here is a sense of tranquility.
Tranquility is a rare treasure amid this chaos. War ravages these lands, yet Todaiji offers solace.
I fear it is action that will solve Yamato's problems.
Indeed. Which is why I personally aid the peace efforts.
Let me talk to somebody.
Let us walk. Would you kindly follow me? Here sits Daibutsu-den, built in more harmonious times. Some believe this structure is the very heart of the realm.
What do you believe?
I believe bronze, while impressive in form, pales in comparison to the fiery determination of the ambitious.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Surely peace is the blessing
I'm
Yamato
trying to
needs.
see if you guys is
Hopefully,
night managers.
with my guidance, the clans can achieve it.
I certainly hope so.
They simply need to open their hearts and minds to Buddha. Then they will see the way.
Trying to find, it's not employment, trying to find out who the night guy is, like who does like stalking and stuff at night. And just trying to get some information about that, possibly talk to him or her, whoever it is.
You mentioned you had a role in the peace talks. What exactly?
And I filled
I
out
assure
applications. I'm
tradition
just trying to talk to
and
somebody
formality.
actually.
Do you see that scroll over there? For generations, its sacred texts have guided negotiations between the various warring clans.
It is often open minds, not tradition, that lead to peace.
Yes, but the Buddha speaks through the scroll, blessing or disapproving. I must attend to my duties. In my absence, I kindly request that you stay within the gardens. Even the most esteemed guests are not allowed access to all areas of the temple. Over here, Smoky Mountain.
Kojiro? Where are you taking me?
You'll see.
Surely this is going to get me into trouble.
Such doubt. Have I led you astray before?
The Okyo collect sacred relics. Their value could fund an army.
Among other things. Never much cared for that tea kettle.
You have seen it before?
No, not in this life.
This sword must have seen many battles. A strange memento for a peaceful old monk.
No polishing can remove that bloodstain.
This report suggests Lady Ayako of the Akiyama clan is not trustworthy.
Convenient. Lying open there for all to read.
It is curious that the Hokyo collects so many unmonkly things.
Trophies even. I wonder why. Here you are. You have glimpsed my collection of oddities.
That tea set is particularly impressive.
The tea set of Matsunaga Hisahide. Exquisite craftsmanship.
He was a bold usurper.
A scoundrel driven by greed. But he had fine taste. Especially in tea sets.
It is a good thing Lord Nobunaga dealt with him.
The Oda clan's actions benefited Yamato, toppling the Matsunaga clan and empowering the Tsutsui clan. Still, just before the Matsunaga clan's fall, Lord Nobunaga promised Yamato to us monks, then changed his mind.
Lord Nobunaga seldom acted without reason.
Indeed, a very shrewd thinker. Now Lord Junkei rules Yamato and enjoys its riches. Anyway, enough of the past. Let us resume our walk. Not the prettiest sight.
The scars of war.
Scars can mark survivors like me. I once nearly met my... at this very spot.
Oh?
During the Matsunaga clan's time, Hisahide's troublesome son attacked right here. He was a worthy foe. Worse but more brave than his father. Came within a hair's breadth of striking me dead. But that was long ago. Anyway, it has taken Lord Junkei years to allocate the funds needed for proper repairs.
Your tone suggests discontent.
Acceptance, not discontent. Humble monks, we have yielded to many clans. Oda, Matsunaga, Tsutsui, even Akiyama. Go! Kill them! Savages! If you must, take my knife to spare the
That will leave a mark. How severe is your injury, Jokinokyu?
This? It is nothing.
Why the tears then?
Have you not heard? The Akiyama stole the scroll. Without it, no peace in Yamato. Unbearable shame. Bring me a blade. Only my death will restore honor.
Stay right there. Your fate is not yours to decide.
You are right. I must inform Lord Junkei. Koriyama Castle must be witness to my punishment. Lost the scroll, have we?
What is this? One moment you're here with me, and then you're...
We could talk about that. Or I tell you where to find the scroll to bring peace to Yamato.
Where is it?
The thieves went that way.
That Kojiro puzzles me. Each time he helps, I somehow trust him less. And yet, I do... not question his advice. I wonder why.
Translate entire websites in one tap. Get Chrome with Google Translate built in. Equation's no joke.
Your day, when you will not be interrupted, when you have the opportunity to think in quiet, and prepare answers to these types of questions in advance. You might not know the specific questions you're going to be asked, but you can get a good sense of what broader buckets these questions may fall into. The important thing to know about assessment testing is it's not a pass fail. It's not like a driver's ed test where you get a 75, you pass, you get your driver's license. If you get less than that, you fail, and you get the assessment test work on comparison between you and the other candidates who are applying for the same job, and comparison between you all as a collective group and the algorithm has determined who the employee for this company is. By being prepared and having your answers ready to go, and blocking off the necessary time to do the assessment, and taking it every bit as seriously as you take the job interview, that should push you over the top, to the top 5%. This will definitely one, your answers have to be significantly better than those purely. You can do that by watching one of the videos I've got linked below in the description on the STAR method. Very important that you're aware of that going into the assessment, particularly a video that you're going to prepare for STAR. Number 2. Answer the way you think they want you to answer. Be honest and consistent. For technical assessments, or math assessments, or coding assessments, try your best to prepare the language, math skills, or technologies that you're going to need going into the assessment. Just be sure that you're prepared with the skills the job requires. And remember that there's always training courses on LinkedIn, using LinkedIn Learning, or even some of the LinkedIn certificate programs. Another video in the description. Number 4, be prepared for video interviews. Links to a number of videos I've done that prepare for HireVue and Spark Hire video interviews are down below in the description. Give them a watch if you're given an invitation to a HireVue. And remember, HireVue interviews have assessment testing built into them that you'll never be able to see. So take it seriously. Now that you've done that, do this. Watch either of the 2 videos on screen right now. Guaranteed, they're going to get you one step closer to that job of your dreams. Enjoy the rest of your job-seeking day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Here's looking at you.
These features from Robinhood Gold are too good not to share. Get a 4% APY with Robinhood Gold, which is much higher than the national average. And you can get up to $210 max. with it. Yeah, get down on your knees. Let's talk about this and figure things out. You gotta work with us, though, all right? We're gonna get you guys taken care of. All right, just turn around.
So you went into the back sliding glass door, and then what happened?
Friday, October 18th, 2024, St. Petersburg, Florida. Police receive a call from a local resident reporting a murder inside the home where he
Went in, start screaming, so he opened the door, bring in the police.
Friday, May 17th, 2024, Claremont, Florida. The police received a call from a father requesting a welfare check on his son, as he hadn't been able to get in touch with his ex-partner for several days and was beginning to worry. It was known that the child's mother had mental health issues and may not be in a condition to care for the boy. The officers were heading to the home, but what awaited them didn't look good. I'm Tyler, and this is your daily dose of crime.
Hey, Crystal, it's Corporal Hurt, Lake County Sheriff's Office. We're just here to make sure that the baby's okay. That's it. Once we verify the baby's okay, then we're gonna leave, okay? Crystal, can you please just come to the door? We legit just want to make sure the baby's alright. That's it. And that we're leaving. Is she in the car?
Crystal Velez, the child's mother, is whom the officers are calling. No one answers, the windows are blocked with objects, and nobody can see if anyone's inside. What was supposed to be a simple check on the child's welfare was now becoming increasingly complicated. What exactly was it that was going on?
Try to get there.
You have a key? Come on. That's got a key. What's it? Oh, you see this Crystal!
Where did you pick up this tramp, Flynn? Her underwear has nasty holes.
Flynn was in shock as his ex-girlfriend Scarlett raked her X-ray vision over his new girlfriend's body. They were all standing in line at the superhero arena, waiting to be seated for the annual award ceremony.
Shut the hell up, Scarlett. This is Penelope.
Penelope was a mousy young woman with a pretty face, but no makeup or fancy clothes. Scarlett flipped her flame-colored hair back.
Why are you even here?
Crystal! Crystal!
When the officers manage to open the apartment, they find that just like the windows, the entrance is blocked with multiple pieces of furniture and objects. No one answers the call, and the apartment appears to be empty. But based on how the exits are blocked, it's clear that whoever did this must have done it from inside the apartment.
So, we tried to make Matthew and Alice. Okay, the two that are there?
Yeah. So, the one that is in there, she changed the locks.
Okay.
She's going out things. So when everybody came in to meet her, she's now on the paper. Mm-hmm. So he's actually her president. So he's not that they put in like.
Okay, do you know if she's left? When's the last time you guys have been out there?
2 days ago because she like barricaded herself and just put like furniture.
Okay. And when you opened the door?
Yeah. So we had to like remove all that.
You guys moved all that?
Yeah, we tried.
Okay, it's like there's a whole bunch of more stuff pushed up against the door.
Yeah, so she's living there. Yeah. We just
Garcia?
Yeah, I think so. We've been trying to like get in the apartment because they have an issues on the second floor. The residents, they have an issue with leaking. So we think that's her opening all the other thing. like water.
So we're gonna go and do an exigent search for the child, make sure that the child's okay. At this point, I don't know if she's actually in there because the door was unlocked. All the stuff was picked up its door, and no one's answering. We don't hear baby, we don't hear her. But we're gonna go up there and see what information.
I don't know if somebody said that. Yeah, it was like 10 years old.
He left.
8 left.
To the other end.
Yep. Time left. Nobody knows. If you need to like break any doors, you'll have the best.
Okay. Doesn't look like we're gonna have to do any damage. So I think just to see what's going on here, we have to break it down. Just verify and check. But it kind of looks like she's gone. I mean, it's pretty much empty. There's no couch or anything, but like all broken bed stuff, everything.
Yeah, she went out like broken everything. And like very herself, and she wasn't sure to break.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna go over there now.
Speaking with one of the building managers, he explains that Crystal has done this before. They've tried to understand her situation and why she acts this way, but all they know is that she does it to protect her son. Protect him from what, though? Well, Les clearly shows signs of paranoia, but the reasons are unknown. The officers now had to find her, but first they needed to verify if she was inside the apartment, and to do that, they needed to enter.
Moving memories. Your life just passed me by so quick. You can't put into words.
She spared us all one bottle of bleach, I believe. It's unsure at this point. It's a smaller bleach.
It took only moments for officers to quickly flee the residence after being sprayed with a chemical inside the apartment. Crystal was hiding in there with her child, and before the officers could find her, she attacked them when they were caught off guard. This was serious, and they needed to act quickly.
I need at least 2 more. Yes, here. Davis, can you go downstairs? Good.
Crystal was hiding in there with her child, and before the officers could...
She spared us all. Let's go ahead. Yes. Go ahead. She spared us all a bottle of bleach, I believe. It's unsure at this point. It's just smaller bleach.
It took only moments for officers to quickly flee the residence after being sprayed with a chemical inside the apartment. Crystal was hiding in there with her child, and before the officers could find her, she attacked them when they were caught off guard. This was serious, and they needed to act quickly.
I need at least 2 more. Please. Davis, can you go downstairs? Good. Down, it's just down, small. Hey. That's baby. What's up, baby? You okay? You okay, baby? You okay? You're okay, baby. It's okay, baby. Alright, can you just hang a little bit more, please?
Instant happiness is here at Rent-A-Center.
Get instantly approved for up to $3,000. Shop for anything you want in store or online. Up to $3,000. All without using credit.
And she has a hole on the side of the bar. So the state of the side of the stuff.
Thursday, March 30th, 2023, St. Petersburg, Florida. Police receive a call from neighbors reporting a crime scene. Something very serious had occurred, and they had to respond to the scene immediately. No one knows exactly what has happened, and only 2 people have witnessed the event so far, the perpetrator and the witness. I'm Tyler, and this is your daily dose of crime.
Hey, does anybody know her name? Do they know her name at all?
It's on the way.
Go back to Golf Tango 04, back to a Nissan Versa blue color. Yes. Go around. Yes, other side. Need somebody to block right there. Block that whole area. Because it goes down to that car. Yeah. And then the guy on the phone there. That guy on the phone there. He's the guy who entered.
I don't know, sir. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here to get names. Eventually, they come by asking questions. I can't give you anything I don't know. Don't go there. Please stay in. And you're related to what address? What address are you talking about? What apartment? Let's get the address. Yes, that's my car. And who is that? The owner of that car is who? Okay, who is she to you? Your nephew's mom? And who is she? Who is you're the grandfather? 6 years old.
Police, EMS, and forensics investigation teams arrive at the residence, and what they find is the worst-case scenario. Family members begin arriving on scene and are questioned by officers. They provide essential information necessary to identify the perpetrator of the crime. However, they can't provide any information unless they have a direct connection with the victim. As a result, most of the neighbors are unaware of what has transpired behind the closed doors of the apartment.
So I can't tell you anything that I don't know. I got here just to signs. And what are your relationship with the that's your dad? I didn't close it up. Something's gonna do something. Does she have the baby? So I got the grandfather, the son. said they can't get to the wrong question for their grandfather. Yeah, he's like their parents. Yeah, I got his hair. Sorry, yeah, Friday.
This is my name. $50 instant. No credit check, interest, or maintenance. You want strawberry or regular? The return to get 50 to 250% filling.
This slope is too steep to climb.
According to the first individuals to arrive on scene, they claim to be the victim's grandmother. A baby about 2 years old was with the victim, but the investigation and the apartment records showed that no baby had been present. This presents a brand new puzzle for the authorities. Another child is at risk, and they have to track him down. This gives them a crucial clue about who may be responsible for the crime.
So this agreement for the individual in that apartment. So we're just like verifying all that other information.
Yeah, I got two motions with me. The grandfather of the baby and the son of the grandfather. They're both here.
Okay.
And I don't know. They said that the baby's here and they search for me.
No, we're holding the scene because
Gotta make sure that the baby's okay. Let's talk to them. They say this house here. They say that the grandfather's here with his son, and they said they can't off the child, and the baby should be. They will search for me. You hear a baby crying, right? What's wrong with your baby? The baby's been right there. Yeah.
If I am seen, they will come for me. And I was just getting into the flow. I must bring this scroll to Lord Junkei
So he's not
before he
What's his
passes
name?
judgment on the Hokyu.
Thomas. Do you know Thomas's last name? Mosby. Like babies. Is he a white or black? Black with dread. And he was there? Yeah. And when I left, because I brought him glasses, shades, like his socks.
There it is.
It's his birthday. Right. And we ate ice cream with him. Do you know his birthday? Like, what day his birthday was? That's 29.
He is a good sport.
How long for me? 21. They're 21. Does he just start right now? Yes, yes, he did. What's your daughter? She's short. Yeah, just talking short, like what's your last name? Oh, brown tights and Tatum's birthday shirt. Happy birthday, Tatum, for 2 or something like that. So,
That was worth the wait.
I'm gonna let you talk to people real quick and get some information. I got her info, her phone number. This is the person who signed for it. She last saw was 4:05, and she was about maybe another birthday. So I figured that's me. Birthday was the 29th. I started to just stay with us. I'm gonna go get some info for you.
Rashun Jeffrey, age 22, is the victim of the crime, and her 2-year-old son, Taylon Mosley, is missing. According to recent information, Rashun had been living there for a short time and frequently communicated with her family via FaceTime until that morning when there was no contact. The child's father, Thomas Mosley, age 21, has to be located and investigated, but absolutely nobody knows his current whereabouts.
Yeah, he got his car, golf cart here. Yeah. Oye, ¿tú chequeaste el apartamento bien? ¿O no?
Yo, I looked around them and I put my finger and when I pushed the back, when the back door open, that's when I saw her on the ground.
Did you hear a child? Did you hear
I tried to look for the kid. I tried to do a quick look from the bedroom and behind the sofas, and I didn't see nothing. The girl was very similar.
Was the front door open or did you open it? You had to open it with the key?
I put the key in the tank, and I was looking out the window. So I didn't realize it was in my hand. Yeah, it's the...
You again? I have no time for visitors. I'm about to declare war on my enemies.
Peace is still possible.
Yeah, she was banging on the door. The young lady from underneath her.
I saw it stolen. With no hope of getting it back. The Akiyama-kun, they take it.
Thieves wore their colors, yes. But it does not mean Lady Ayako gave the order.
If not her, then who?
I do not know. But you have the scroll back.
I dislike your tone, but I will overlook it given your apparently good service. Now go. I won't forget.
You didn't touch the body or anything?
No, I didn't touch the body. Yeah, as soon as I looked at it, she was gone. She had a huge hole in the left-hand side of her skull.
The witness who reported the crime to authorities is one of the building managers. After seeing blood outside the apartment and an open door, he then entered and discovered the crime scene. He reported that the neighbor downstairs heard shouting, banging doors, and a baby crying the night before, but no one realized it was a murder.
My camera's on to the log, but there's blood here on this yellow thing going that direction. Yep, and then up going that way. Next to the silver car, here's their son right here. Okay. And then walking on the walkway all the way through up to the door. Okay. I'm not sure, I didn't see where it ends out here. So. Yeah, no worries. Yep,
I know this is really redundant, but I just need your information.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, good knowledge.
Thank you so much.
I've been doing this job for 30 years now, and I say that in the 30 years I've been doing this, I found this very powerful. And I've worked with a lot of people, and they've all been natural. It's the first one since I've been here in Florida that I found. I've never seen a crime scene.
Yeah? Wow. What did you see when you went up there?
Well, there's blood and bloody footprints all over the apartment.
Yeah, I saw that.
When I went to towards the bedroom when I was my concern as a kid, and her safety, I saw the bathroom door was closed, so I pushed the bathroom door open. I saw she's laying on the floor, face down, with her shorts down past her buttocks, her blouse is up to her neck, and she has a hole about the size of a silver dollar on the left side of her skull. Like between the ear and the skull. That's about it.
And you didn't see any signs of the child, right?
No, I tried, as I was backing out, I tried to look around the apartment. I did walk into the room, looked around the side of the bed, and I backed out of the apartment. And as I was walking out, I tried to look behind the sofa, but I didn't want to, examine it too much in there. So I walked right out the door. But I didn't see anything. I didn't hear any noise coming from the bed. They opened the door with the boyfriend in the house.
Well, we're trying to make contact with them and see what's going on.
The neighbor downstairs stated that she heard them yelling and screaming.
Are you Hispanic now?
Yes.
How much do you want?
165.
Okay, 60%. Okay. And if I know you've been advised to stay.
Yeah.
Just, you can't leave because you did witness something. I just walked in and saw 200 people are standing by as well. So, I mean, find some shade. Try to stay hydrated. If you need anything, my phone, let us know so we can grab it for you.
Yeah, I live right here, so I'll get my wife to bring me a thing.
Yeah, just have her. Just don't leave the scene.
Okay.
Have her come out and give you whatever you need, okay? Alright, thank you so much. Alright.
Blood was everywhere, and Rashoon's body would be found lying on the bathroom floor with multiple wounds. The most concerning, a large and deep wound at the back of her skull. The witness did not investigate further
Welcome.
to avoid disturbing
Surely
the
I have
scene,
something to
but
strike your
assured the
interest.
authorities that he didn't see or hear any child. All the evidence would point to the perpetrator, considering that Thomas Mosley had apparently been at the scene the night before. The more pressing issue now, however, is not identifying the culprit, as the evidence is clear, but locating Thomas and rescuing Taylor before it's too late.
Hey, how are you? Good, good. Everybody in the back? That's everybody in the back. Thanks. Yeah. Question in the back side? Okay, thank you.
You know where to find?
Yes, thank you. What did you have to say?
I want more sake. Now! Right away, sir.
Continuing the investigation and search, the officers arrive at the Mosley family home to look for Thomas, but have doubts about finding him there. It's a very sensitive and complex situation, especially with a child involved and a mother being murdered just hours earlier.
The whole east side of here, connect to that other tape that they have.
Okay.
So,
So that's it.
Oh no, night is upon us, and the Red Booter gang just brought the Rizzler to edge me. Keep slinging those in.
something on the street.
I just found something in my car.
Okay, what is it?
Pleasant Grove police received this 911 call. Upon arrival, they met Darren West, who was visibly shaken after speaking with his wife, Megan Huntsman, about the grim discoveries in his garage.
And I just said, it's tight. We found something so get the burn.
As they stepped into the garage, they had no idea the horrors that awaited them inside.
I remember there being so much porn and tape. As we got deeper into that box, we find the second child. As we got deeper into that box, we'd find a second child.
On April 12th, 2014, Darren had just returned home after serving time in prison for drug charges, only to stumble upon a horrifying scene in his garage and made this disturbing 911 call.
You yes, ma'am. Can I get his address?
Your name?
My name's Darren West. I just found something in my garage. I think it's a miscarriage.
Do you think specific with you being a miscarriage you found?
I don't know. I did this week at an officer up here.
It doesn't seem they need medical.
Yeah. It's around the plastic bag.
Okay, what is it?
It's a little bag.
When police arrived in Pleasant Grove, Utah, they saw the garage door wide open, and Darren stood outside with his family, who had come to help him move in. Just one look, and the officers knew they were in for something dreadful.
Who lives here?
It's like 1, 2, 3.
Double house, basement, upstairs, or 2 things.
And then, what do you know? And I
We said let's
I'm trying to make something wrong. So then
The box in question was an ordinary-looking fruit box, sitting just outside the garage, and its exterior was tightly sealed with electrical tape. Inside, they found a bag, also wrapped in layer upon layer of duct tape, as if someone desperately wanted to keep whatever was inside hidden forever. When the investigators finally peeled it open, what they discovered would haunt them for years to come. It was the lifeless body of a fully decomposed baby.
There were boxes from floor to ceiling on all 3 walls. There's hundreds of boxes. How are we going to get through all of these? But we contacted the medical examiner's office, and they sent out an investigator. Bewilderment, shock. I was speechless. How could you fathom something like that? The big obvious question is, what is this child doing here? Who's the mother? Where did it come from?
The officers quickly sealed off the scene, unsure of what had truly happened. But one thing was clear: it was now a homicide investigation. They began searching the area, moving from box to box, not knowing that what they had just uncovered was just the beginning of a much darker and more chilling story. But the question was, where was the right now? She was the only person who could hold the answers to this troubling mystery.
Let's start off with, is it your wife?
Drugs. I'm still married.
Okay, so they go in front of the lines. Okay, watch the names. Megan.
I shouldn't.
Where is she? And I just said, what the hell is this? What have you done? It's like we've done something so cold. They never that was yours. Logically, is that true? I don't know, man. I never knew so. So, for the time being, the officers focused on Megan to understand about the unfolding events.
Are you able to help us understand what's going on here? It's a miscarriage. And how far into your pregnancy were you? How soon can you come down here?
Our detectives need to ask you some follow-up questions so that we can, rule out any kind of foul play. Okay, listen to me. I need you to stay at your residence. We're going to have a West Valley City officer come pick you up.
Vernon, why wait for payday?
Only County 911, what is the emergency? Man, shots being fired across the street from my house. I hear a loud stop. He was in the shooting. I was in the pool. I heard pop, 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 pop.
After a deadly shooting reported by neighbors, police arrived at the scene to find 24-year-old Philip Glover Jr. lying.
Red right out there. Oh, it's dead right there.
My cousin was up front, and I haven't heard from him in 2 days. Well, I'm looking through his front window, and it looks like there's blood on the bed.
Officers entered this home thinking it was a routine welfare check, unaware that it would be one of their worst nightmares.
I would consider it one of the worst crime scenes I had seen in a long time.
But this was just the beginning. Trying to solve the case, detectives would stumble upon some shocking leads that would change the entire course of the investigation.
You're not getting your phone back. If your phone has nothing to do with this and you're not my person, give a damn. I'll give you your phone. I care about your phone. I need my phone. You're not getting your phone.
On November 22nd, 2017, at around 7:15 p.m., Indiana police received a 911 call.
911? Yeah, I need the police. What's going on there? My cousin lives up front, and I haven't heard from him in 2 days. Well, I'm looking through his front window, and it looks like there's blood on the bed.
Upon receiving this request for a welfare check on 27-year-old Byron Lee Edwards, officers reached 204B Reed Street, Evansville. As soon as they arrived, officers met two males who claimed to be the cousins.
So I asked you a few things first because I can't just go into somebody's house. Yeah. When was the last time you talked to him? I haven't heard from him in 3 days. 3 days? Okay. I talked to my cousin. Was he sick? No, he's nothing wrong. Is he having any health problems? Nothing. Okay, show me this window where you said it looks like you can see through and see. Right here. Open this window. That's one thing that I'm shining on. So he's in this apartment? Yes. Good. 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 Like right here, it looks like that.
The officer realized the gravity of the case. The amount of blood he had seen was clearly indicating that someone was severely injured and in desperate need of help.
Quinn Talon was bleeding from his butt. His rear end had just scraped hard against the asphalt as two bullets.
So we need some key here. Yes. I've been knocking on the door. Do we have a, is there a landman that would have a key? I don't know. I honestly don't know. He don't have his key. Okay, he doesn't. He lost his key. Okay. All right. So you guys work for me out there. Good right out there. We're inside.
Just as they entered inside, their worst fear came true. Byron was dead, lying in a pool of his blood. Soon additional officers also arrived at the scene and began their investigation.
They talked to him, his cousin, they talked to him every day. Hadn't talked to him in 3 days. Looked through the window there. There's blood on the bed. So I went ahead and breached the door, and he's laying right in front of the door. Throat's cut.
Right here?
Right inside that door. I have not even been in.
Should we go ahead and clear it, though?
Yeah, we need to. I'm waiting on somebody.
Go ahead.
Investigators had to thoroughly check the entire house because the killer could still be inside.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Make sure you don't.
Yeah. Did you get us a couple more cars over here? Grab this door since you got. All right. I'm shutting this.
All right, we're out.
Yeah. We checked that front room. Yes. Okay.
After realizing the perpetrator had already fled the crime scene, they began to process the murder. But it was one of those crime scenes that shook even the seasoned officers.
I would say, generally, as far as crime scenes like this go, I would consider it one of the worst I had seen in a long time.
As they moved forward, investigators stumbled upon an even more chilling discovery. Byron's bedroom door had been shattered into pieces with its hinges ripped off. Its pieces lay on the floor, completely drenched in blood. But the horror didn't stop there. As they searched Byron's bedroom, they uncovered 2 crucial pieces of evidence, a cell phone and a gun, both potentially belonging to him. But there were even more things that would pique detectives' interest.
Some of the items that were located and recovered from the scene were a spray bottle and a glove. That kind of indicated to us that maybe there was some type of a cleanup after the incident.
Now detectives could only rely on the evidence and the statements they could get out of the people around him in order to get any possible lead about the murderer. They began by questioning his sister Ashley, who was visibly distraught by her sudden loss.
Does he ever leave him unlocked, like the window unlocked or the door unlocked? You can't think if you have heard anything.
No,
The reason I ask is a lot of times people talk.
Yeah.
People talk.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we're all pretty close. And I just talked to my cousins, and they're all just like, they just was worried about it because they haven't heard. It's not normal for us not to hear somebody.
Lord Junta
It doesn't bother anybody.
envoys to this town.
What makes you say that? Like,
He doesn't bother. He's a funny man.
Have
He's
you
always
seen
joking.
the missing
He's always
piece
a funny
envoys?
man. We're always together. We're together. He's always making everybody
Didn't
laugh.
stay for long.
I'm thinking about tonight, but there's nobody that you would think of.
Nobody.
However, Ashley then reveals a crucial piece of detail about someone who could unravel the entire case. She claims that she had heard from several neighbors that a woman named Inez had been seen around Byron's house a few days earlier. For now, they had only one suspect on their radar, Inez, who was last seen around his home and who might have witnessed Byron prior to his death. With this knowledge, the detectives began their hunt for her, and it wasn't long before they got a hold of her and brought her in for questioning.
For one of the many people struggling financially right now, Bridget has got you back. They'll send you $50 to $250 instantly. No credit check or
Drunk one, yes.
Download the Bridget
We
app
cannot
today
trust
and get $50 to
What did you
$250 instantly.
Guilty. Most definitely.
Enough blabbering. Are you trying to start? I was not talking to you.
Outside. No. I'm cutting you off for good.
Can I sit in here with you real quick?
Great.
Blake, you mind if I sit there for a minute so I can do some writing? I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation, but well, let me ask you something. What do you think you're here for?
I don't know.
Okay. I want to talk to you about a guy named Byron Lee Edwards. What do you know of Byron Edwards? This gentleman right here.
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you know? What do you call it?
she was able to recognize Byron, addressing him by his nickname Beta. The detectives, now sure they were on the right track, continued their questioning, believing she had vital clues.
Okay, tell me about it. What do you know about it?
So, like, I did
when did you last see Vito?
Yeah, Vito. The last time I saw Vito, so I went over there.
When was that?
That was, probably 2 days before his birthday. Whatever day his birthday is, like 2 days before his birthday.
So he was, birthday's on the 3rd of November.
Except
so
you
you're saying before that?
Stay with me.
No, it was, the 3rd.
I am Lady Ayako.
Her timeline, she says that she hadn't seen him since his birthday, which was weeks prior to Byron Edwards' death. But what we were told on scene was that she was one of the females there just prior to him being, alive.
This was when detectives felt concerned, as they found a contradiction in her statement.
Peace must have its chance.
So this is real important. I've asked him this question because your name has come up on something, okay?
Okay.
3 different people told me you were there around midnight, Monday night, going into Tuesday.
Perhaps for someone
I
else.
can't verbally say I wasn't there.
Let me fill the gossip for you, okay?
Right.
At this very moment, detectives were prepared to deliver the news, unaware of the intense reaction that awaited them.
Mr. Edwards is deceased.
By shadowing him, I hoped to find the truth.
This guy's dead.
But you had other plans.
He's dead. Dead.
Then I will make amends.
He's dead. He's been found deceased tonight.
The peace envoys.
That's
Where are they?
We took them
Now,
to the
listen,
Iron Gathering
Oh my
site.
God, that's so scary.
On whose orders?
Oh my God.
A great warrior.
Now,
No, hold on.
Promised me gold.
Man or woman?
Yet, the detectives were not sure whether her emotional reaction was genuine or just an act. To confirm her credibility, they asked her directly about her whereabouts on Monday night during the murder.
Monday night,
Find the
I
envoys
worked
before it
on
is too
Monday
late.
night.
so we can verify that.
Faces war.
Okay, all right.
You and I are
When
unfinished
did you leave there?
Don't threaten
9
me, child.
p.m.
Right, yeah.
When you are done,
Monday
meet
night.
me near Kastatai
Okay,
Shrine.
so I'm talking about
There we
past
go.
that. Going
And
past
shed
9
blood
o'clock,
if
going to
necessary.
midnight Tuesday, going to church at Tuesday. Where were you at that time?
Okay, so I went on that porch about, I think it was about 12 or 11.
Well, who's
No, that was on a Sunday.
Now her walls began to crack and she seemed to fall into her own lies.
I'm talking about when you got off, you said Monday evening, you left about 9 p.m. Monday evening.
Monday evening. I got on the city bus, but I made a stop. I forgot where I stopped. I stopped there right back there on Franklin, and then I was going to
Stopped on Franklin and Bio there.
I stayed on the porch.
Now, when was exactly that? When was it Tuesday?
By the time I touched down to Franklin, it was probably like 10:30
p.m. This still Monday evening?
No.
This is Tuesday, going into Tuesday next.
Okay, don't try to confuse me.
I'm not trying.
I wasn't nowhere around that shit. I don't know where this stuff.
She was getting increasingly confused and began contradicting herself. This immediately alerted the detectives that she might be hiding something. Consequently, they intensified the interrogation. Little did they know, they were on the brink of discovering a shocking side of her that no one had expected.
He's trying to get,
like you said.
You're saying you didn't do it. We gotta know we're just being aware.
I'm really starting to get mad.
How about get mad?
Yeah, this is really starting to piss me off. Like, 'cause don't talk to me like that. Really pisses my defense stuff. Don't talk to me like woman. You talking about nighttime? No, you heard exactly what I said during the daytime. Don't twist nothing I said.
Now, we went to this scene and to do our investigation. Your name was brought up. We're talking about that night. We're not trying to go back to Sunday. We're talking about Monday night after you got off work. We're not questioning. We're not saying you're lying. What we're doing is just trying to build up. If you have an alibi, you were somewhere, that's what we need to know. We need to know who you're with.
I know where to go.
We just get pushed.
Because it started frustrating me. I just told you where I was.
Even though the detectives maintained a polite approach during the conversation, she was still disrespectful to them, even going as far as telling them to be quiet. The detectives found it challenging to communicate with her. She became more aggressive when they attempted to seize her phone, putting her further under their radar.
Yeah, you can look at my phone. About that. I'm really ready to leave. I'm starting to get mad. I don't think you concerned about me. That's really sad about me. But I'm concerned about my name when I'm nowhere around me. The name being nowhere around me. Just that much.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If you go to a scene like that and a name gets thrown out, you better believe what I'm talking about. It's not the person against you. I think you're a good person. I'm going to try to go back to see. I want to make sure nothing pertinent to what happened to Byron.
I don't care about none of that stuff either, but you can't.
I'm not trying to keep your phone.
Throughout the entire interrogation, Inez remained disrespectful towards detectives while they tried their best to be polite with her. Even at the end of the conversation, the detectives tried to calm her down, but their efforts were in vain.
In our line of work and our job, I couldn't afford to let that piece of evidence go inside that building at that moment.
Investigators were determined to confront her to get to the answer, but what she did next only heightened the detectives' frustration.
Your phone with me is your property. Here's your receipt. Okay? That's where I'm going to go. It's going to be with me once I can get a warrant and get a download or however I'm going to go about it. And get your phone back.
Man, I need my phone.
You're not getting your phone. That's why until I can rule you out, this is a homicide, and I'm not going to let the phone go when people are putting you on scene in about the time that he was killed, and I can't rule you out completely. It's on my
You rather I was or not.
It puts you in a place. Yes, it will. And here's the thing. Until you need your phone back. If your phone has nothing to do with this, and you're not a person, if it didn't do your phone, I need my phone. Give me your phone. You're getting a piece of paper tonight. So that is, you can leave it here or you can take it with you. Until then, keep your phone.
Games of Focus Galore. Select and play today.
At this point, Inez's restrained behavior towards corporations made her the prime suspect. But what detectives needed was profound evidence to apprehend her, which they believed might be hidden in her phone. Therefore, they sent her phone to the forensic department, hoping to uncover the hidden truth Inez was desperately trying to hide. While the analysis would take some time, detectives took another approach and examined Byron's phone records, hoping to uncover a connection to Inez that could advance the case. During their search, they discovered another vital lead that would soon change the entire direction of the investigation.
So after reviewing Byron's phone, we determined that some of his last text messages were to a female.
This new information immediately caught the detectives' attention, wondering who that female was. However, to the investigators' surprise, the phone records revealed another unexpected turn of events. Byron had met a girl named Emily and her friend on the day he was murdered.
That single piece of evidence from the phone, just with those conversations, gave us the next step in the case. We realized that it became important to bring her in and talk to her about the events surrounding that night.
What we need to do here is just to talk to you about the night you were over at Vito's house. I told you that we've already got text messages and everything. So, just if you can remember as much detail as you can, just kind of how things transpired, like when we first started talking to Vito that night.
During the conversation, she mentioned they were close friends and decided to meet on that fateful night. As the discussion with detectives continued, she was on the verge of sharing another significant piece of information that would surprisingly match the crime scene.
I had seen his lights was on down at his house, so I texted him like, hey, what's up? You know, get down the street. He was like, yeah, come down here and smoke and drink and whatever. So we went down there and he sat on his couch. He was standing up. He pulled a gun out of his jacket pocket that he was wearing, and I was like, did you get a gun? He was like, yeah, I got 2 of them, but I only see 1.
She had mentioned that Byron had pulled out a gun to show her, and we actually had a photo taken from the gun we located at the scene, and she confirmed that was the exact firearm that Byron had displayed to her the night that she was there.
This new discovery made the detectives believe that she might have held more information, prompting them to question further.
So were you by yourself then?
No, I was still with her.
Okay.
I was still with when I first went down there, I took her with me. We went down there together.
Nobody else was there but you 3, right?
Me 3. I told you that I'm about to catch a cab, and after that, I didn't go back.
However, just when they were about to leave his place, she was now about to drop a bombshell nobody saw coming, bringing the detectives closer to the killer than ever before.
Somebody knocked on the door, and he was like, who is it? And then he opened it and cracked it, and it was the light skin guy. He was standing up, and the light skin guy came in and sat down. No, I don't know him. I don't know who he is.
At this point of the investigation, detectives knew this unexpected detail could lead them to the murderer.
Can you describe this light skin guy to me as far as like anything, any features you can remember? I mean, I'm talking hair color, eye color. I mean, just everything you can remember from this guy.
I know he had a bag with him. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I know he was light skin for sure. I think he might have had dark hair, dark brown hair maybe.
She shared another strange detail. Byron continued to text her throughout the night, even after she left his residence.
I wasn't interested, so I didn't go back. And then he was like, yeah.
That's pretty late. It's like 2:40, and then he said the same person. Same person
that was with him when I was that lights.
These conversations did give us time frames as to when these people were together and when they parted ways. So that phone conversation and that thread of messages became very important to this case.
Based on this information, the detectives believed that this man could be a potential.
What kind of fish he falls? That's right here. It looks like he's 50 pounds. What is that, 15 days, one shirt? That's more than 15 days. Handcuffs here. It's like a webcam right there. I didn't even notice that. Source? Then what? Yeah, isn't it crazy? It's hot box. If you just get it.
You must turn back.
It catches everything in there for you. There's blood and heat out all over the place in the basement. Everyone's messing with so there. That's weird.
How you doing, dude? I'm just taking a bit or something.
Now you said the last time you saw was 5:30 this morning.
On July 6, 2022, detectives arrived at Shanda Ramsey's home in Morton Shores after she made a 911 call reporting that her son, Timothy Ferguson, had fallen off the bed and was unresponsive.
I bet you're not all right. If you get there, go to the bottom right now. Open the door. He's not leaving.
What initially seemed like an accident eventually started to look like a horrific plot when the detectives saw Timothy's frail body lying on the floor. And the detectives could never have imagined what they were in for.
The story that she's given is that she last talked to him at 5:30. He's like, he said, stiff, rigor mortis, like his jaw starting to lock up his moly, and she talked to him at 5:30.
I've dealt with hundreds of homicide investigations. I've seen crime scenes, I've seen dead bodies, I've seen everything. And nothing even comes close to this.
Little did the detectives know that soon sinister clues would start to surface and reveal the true horrors that Timothy went through in his last moments.
The pictures of him in the hall and the pictures of him at the autopsy are just haunting.
On the morning of July 6, 2022, Timothy had fallen out of bed and was not responsive. Timothy's older brother Paul, younger brother Gabriel, and Shanda were present at the house when the tragedy
My daughter
occurred.
was chosen to serve Lady Nene.
Paramedics and police
It is a singular honor.
officers
I wish to buy her the gift to help her impress the court. I just paid my taxes and have no rights left this season. Can you afford a little charity for a worried father?
But first responders were suspicious of the scene. Although it was possible that Timothy could have died from falling off the bed,
not much,
many things
but I hope it helps.
I thank you.
The boy looked severely malnourished, and
What
his clothes appeared too large for his
Lady
tiny
Nene the
frame.
most?
He was also wearing an adult diaper, and his skin had some
Lady
different
Nene
parts of his
is known
body.
for her excellent calligraphy.
There was also a strong
Try a brush set as a gift.
I won't forget this kindness.
They reported these
How
findings
can
to
I
the
repay
officers
you?
as Timothy's body was removed from the house. Outside, officers spoke to Shanda, who was clearly distraught. She told officers that Timothy had gone on a hunger strike when her husband had moved out of their home after suffering a stroke in January.
I did this back in my husband's stroke was January 3rd.
I do not mind being paid in information.
I don't know, second week of January for almost 3 weeks. And then he ate something last night. I can't remember what it was now, I'm sorry.
You must not! Shanda explained Timothy couldn't handle sudden changes and acted up earlier that same year. With the help of her eldest son, Paul, they were able to get his eating back under control. However, this time, she wasn't aware of how bad his health had deteriorated.
He's been wearing really loose clothes the last couple weeks.
He's really skinny.
Skinny, and I did notice it this morning because he was like, I asked him if he's okay, and he was not answering. Like, he's been.
He has autism. Like a high functioning.
Yeah. I had no clue how bad it was. I tried to check him in the last few days, and he just wouldn't let me anywhere near him. He didn't want the kid. I was like, nothing.
Probably didn't want you to give him a hug because then you could tell.
And like, I think he was stumbling a little bit last night, but he's not the most coordinated kid in the world. And he said he was okay. And then he ate.
So what's the last time you ate, you think?
Last night.
She told officers that Timothy avoided any physical interaction with her, including hugging, so she hadn't realized his condition. It's only when her youngest son, Gabriel, saw Timothy coming out of the bathroom did they realize he was stirring himself again.
That's why I asked him to eat last night, because his face started looking a little thin. I'm like, okay, enough. And he wouldn't show. I'm like, let me see. Hold your shirt up. And he wouldn't hold his shirt up. He wouldn't do anything.
Did he get real skinny last time too?
Yes. The only reason I know is because my 7-year-old walked in on him accidentally when he was in the shower downstairs. And then my 7-year-old comes up and he's like, Mom, Timothy's really skinny. I was like, oh.
Was that this time or last time?
That was like first week of February is when TC discovered that. And I told him he was